want any black people in the theater department.
Right.
But he got in, and then the strike was on, and all these things were happening up the hill and whatnot. And then they said, well, geez, yeah, we got to have somebody in the music department, and we got John Handy, and we got to have somebody in the theater, so they got John Doyle. And then they said, well, John, we'll give you an instructor's job here, and all of a sudden the black component of the theater department went from 1 person to 25 in 1 semester. It did. And then they said, well, okay, John, we'd like you to do a play on the main stage, like in a series. He said, oh, I'll think about that, yeah. He said, all right. Let's do Leroy Jones, the Dutchman and the Slave. And they went back into their caucus and said, well, not those plays. No, this is literal truth. I'm the faculty at the time. So he came to me and he said, you know, what the hell? He said, I can do these plays, we can't do them. And so I went and talked to the head of the department, John Clark was there at that time. And he said, well, we got to reverse that. I said, well, they won't let them do it. You know, the faculty had to vote, they could overrule the department head. And he said, but we should do these plays. I said, well, we've got a theater, and will you give him credit for teaching if he does the plays off campus? Good idea. He was a good Midwesterner, and he said, you know, that's a good idea. So we did them up here, and Yvonne Golden came, who was the head of the teachers union at the time. Fiery woman. And then she called me up and she said, you the director of the theater? I said, yes. You got to bring these plays to Lincoln High. And this was Max Rafferty time, you know, where he had banned the plays from the schools, libraries. And she said, we're not doing those plays in the library. That's too small. We're doing them in the auditorium. And the principal said, well, okay. And then he got a threat of death. And he told the police, and the police came and said, no. I'll say this for the San Francisco police. They said, we're not going to allow this. You can do this play, and we will do everything we can to protect it. Well, come the day before the play, the man playing the white guy in The Slave, and if you haven't read The Slave lately, you got to do it. It's even better than The Dutchman in terms of dialogue. And the principal got a call and called me and said, we've got a bomb threat, but we're going to go ahead. And then the guy who played the white guy in the Slave said, or he was riding to the rehearsal on his motorbike and he crashed and he was super hurt in the hospital. And I called Yvonne and I said, you know, we can't do it. We got to delay it and do something. She said, you're going to do it. One way or the other, you got to do this.